If you are new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
To water capturing ideals here. Whenever we want to capture the water on our property, we can do this with rain barrels. Now, number one, before we do any of this, we want to make sure that the municipality, the homeowners association, the township that we live in, it is legal to do such. There are places where it is illegal for you to capture rainwater on your property. We're not going to get into the legalities of all of that, but we want to make that, we're assuming that all of that is clear and good to go, green light. So here are some things we want to know and how to capture the rainwater. One, you can do this on a very small scale or a very large scale.
Right, definitely. You want to keep it cheap. You can keep it cheap. If you feel like water collection is expensive or costly or an investment, that's simply not true. You can get rain barrels. You
can construct your own with large trash cans too.
Right, you can construct them with large trash cans. You can get rain barrels. There's if you just do a search, rain barrels, put your zip code in, you can do it that way. There's many different places that sell them. Sometimes the city of Milwaukee has a rain barrel sale or promotion or whatnot. So if with the right research, you can find them for
sometimes cheap. And you want to make sure, one, they're food grade, or two, sometimes you can get them from car washes. They have 55-gallon drums that soap has come in, and you clean that out, and it's good to go. Just make sure it's food grade material that was once in there. So keep it cheap. We're all about making it cheap but making it effective. Two, keep the thing covered.
Right. So any sort of open water source will breed mosquitoes. So if you don't have a cover or your rain barrel is not covered, it could breed. It will breed the mosquito larvae. Like if you a lot of times when there's the summer with a high mosquito population, they'll say look for any sort of water collection that's uncovered because that's where the mosquito nests or whatnot are.
Right.
So you want to make sure you keep it covered, keep it sealed to help prevent that.
You can do that with just a real tight screen, a house screen type of thing. You can buy a roll of that, or maybe you know somebody who has an old house that, these are broken or torn. You can use that very simply.
Or old storm windows.
And you don't have to cut the whole lid open. You just need enough for the water to go into the top.
Right.
So you don't have to, you just need a however big, 3x4, 4x4. You don't have to cut the whole lid off. So keep that in mind. Even with a trash can, you can cut a hole in the lid to capture that rainwater.
Okay, so don't choke your flow. Basically, that means that if you're collecting from a rooftop, that whatever is draining through from that rooftop, the gutter, that you're not the downspout, that there's nothing jammed in there essentially. So if you're like, we've been getting all this rain, I don't have much going on in my rain barrel, you might want to look into that.
Right. Now here from the University of Arizona, they did some studies here, and this is how much water really can be captured off of a roof. Holly, you looked at these numbers here.
Right. So 1 inch of rain, so say we get 1 inch of rain, 1,000 square foot roof produces 600 gallons of water. So that's pretty good. 1,000 square feet is basically 100 feet by 10 feet.
Yeah,
something like that. So that's a lot. So on the flip side of that, a 4,500 square feet lot will receive 2,800 gallons. So if you're letting just the rain fall onto your lot, which is fine, but if you're not collecting it on top of that, you can collect a lot of rain quickly while it's raining and falling also onto your garden.
Right. So that keep that. There's some staggering numbers there in regards to how much rain really falls, because we just see it, running down the street, whatever the case is, and we're running off of our property, and we're thinking, it's just going into the storm drain where we've lost that water. But there is a way to hold some of that water back and allow it to soak in.
Right. So there's this concept that occurs in nature, which has a name for it. It's called swales, and what swales are is basically a lower lying area that sometimes is done on a slope or just like a small ravine, that when the rain happens, it kind of collects and it creates
There's a speed bump to prevent the water from running through that low spot.
Right, basically. And so you can collect it. The city of Milwaukee actually has what's called swales built up to increase the wetland and the marsh ecosystems, and I see them all the time when I go to work. They're on 107th Street, just south of Brown Deer Road. But they that's kind of an example if you ever want to look at one, but it's a way to collect water using more natural situation.
Now, when we collect the rainwater off of a roof, number one, this is for plant use, not human consumption. If you want to go human consumption, there's a whole other level of filtration in which you need to do with this. And people will say, well, what about the asphalt and the tar that's coming off the roof and all that? Again, we talked about the soil buffering capacity.
Right. Your soil is, as long as your soil is healthy, and even if it's not super healthy either, but it still has that buffering situation where it's going to kind of filter that out and help prevent the plants from uptaking it too much.
Right. And if you're not collecting water and your rain barrel is black from the tar from the roof type of situation, okay, you got to be a little
right. If you're
visual on this.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but with a rain barrel. And if it's a clear rain barrel or milky rain barrel, it's going to be exposed to sunlight. Sunlight develops algae in the water. If you're not drinking this for human consumption, you're not filtrating it for human consumption, and it's just for your plants and garden, algae is great. It helps feed the soil. Right,
algae is great. It is, it's basically just you're putting natural material, which is what algae is, onto your soil. And that's okay. That's fine. If you have little green chunks of algae in your rainwater that you're putting on from your rain collection, that's fine. Like Joy said, you don't want the algae if you actually are consuming the water, but we're referring to rainwater collection based for your garden.
And regardless if you want to collect a lot or a little, collect something, because something is better than nothing, and it's free, and just a little investment can help you prolong the plants and save a little bit on your water bill at the end of the growing season. Thank you for checking out the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show. For more, go to the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com for full-length in-studio video and podcast replay of Season 1. Season 2 underway and added weekly. Tweet us at TWVG Show or hashtag TWVG to be part of the program.